What's up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of AGR's Pop Culture Reviews. I'm sorry I haven't been around. I seemed like I had Ebola or something because I was really sick, and that's why I've been so behind with the reviews. But I'm back on track, I got my voice back, and we're gonna get this stuff done because I got a lot of stuff to review. So, as you can tell, we're going back a little bit old school, especially to my days growing up in the arcade. If you hear the music or the soundtrack this time, it's basically the arcade music from the original Ninja Turtles arcade game, where you can play all four players or all four turtles at the same time. Had so many great memories, and I thought I'd take it back to the old school a little bit. Also, in a way, I kind of wanted to mark a milestone. You guys know that I've been reviewing all the turtles from Mondo, NECA, and DreamX, and this is essentially it, guys. At least for the foreseeable future, I'm not going to be reviewing any more turtles. So let's get this last review into the archives. Today we're going to be taking a look at Mondo's 1/6 scale version of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figure, Raphael. Let's take a closer look. Now, next to Leonardo, Raphael was definitely one of my favorite characters. Even going back to the original 1990 film, I just liked his character and his teenage angst, and I've talked about this before. And you know what? I think this Mondo figure is probably one of the most impressive in terms of overall detail, and I'll explain why. I just think that this one is amazing in terms of how you can actually pose it, and just the very, really cool factor that it has. It's awesome. Raphael as a character and as one of the very unique Ninja Turtles has always been synonymous with sarcasm and being kind of a smartass, and I think the sculpt this time around really influenced the overall design, and you guys, it really shows in this figure. The head sculpt is very unique compared to the rest of the turtles, and it really comes out in his personality. It looks freaking awesome. The detail looks great. I love that grin that he has. Of course, the teeth look like they're chiclets, but listen, I can forgive that. They look awesome. Most importantly, though, I love the creases in his brow. They look fantastic. And the color tone on this turtle looks amazing. Now, here's the thing too, the turtle shell, or at least his pectoral area, is also very interesting and very unique. I think design-wise, they actually went with a more gritty look for Raphael in general, and it looks amazing, guys. This turtle looks like he's been in battle, and it's freaking awesome. It's very unique from the rest of the turtle line, and I have to admit, you have to take a second look so that you can notice the subtle details, but they are there, and they are different from the rest of the turtles. Growing up, I used to love ninjas in general, and when you mix ninjas and turtles, I don't know, something clicked. Now, I've always been a fan of the Sai, and this really lends me to one of the problems that I do have with this figure, and it's basically his weapons. They do look a little bit cheap. It's hard to go back from the DreamX turtle and how detailed that is, but again, that's an outrageous price and a different price point. They don't look bad, but they do look cartoony, and I guess that kind of makes sense because this is a little bit more of a comic book version, but still, the Sais do look a little bit cheap. Now, easily one of the best things about these turtles is definitely in the stance and the feet. And as you already know from the previous reviews of all the other turtles, this really doesn't come with a stand, and it absolutely doesn't need it. It is so well balanced that it can stand on its own no matter what. The articulation in the feet are fantastic. Mondo really knows how to make figures that really can stand on their own, literally. Now, you get to a point when you start reviewing so many figures that you, at times, unfairly kind of compare turtles with other turtles that are maybe a little bit more realistic, but that's a stylistic thing. Now, the turtle shell, of course, here is not as realistic as the NECA and the DreamX figure, but for what they're trying to accomplish in terms of the overall vision, it does look pretty great, and it contrasts well, really well, with the skin tone of this particular figure. Now, similar to the other Mondo figures, this figure also comes with a cacophony of accessories. Now, it doesn't really make sense, and the accessories are pretty random, but because you've collected so many turtles, 4 in fact, you're gonna get duplicates of everything. So you also get this awesome Krang figure, which is pretty detailed and really creepy looking, and an unmutated version of the turtle, presumably it's Raphael. I will say this though, with this particular turtle, if my memory serves me correctly, this is the first time you do get a can of mutagen, and it's pretty detailed. It does read TCRI, which is the name of the company that mutated the turtles, and you get 2 sets of different shurikens. You get the star kind of versions, and then you get the 4-point version, which are detailed in black, which look pretty cool. But like I said, this is the first time, I think, in all of these turtles that we do get a canister of mutagen, which is pretty cool. You also get a very detailed blaster. Presumably, it was given to the turtles in the original TV series by the Neutrinos, or something they picked up in Dimension X. I really can't remember that far back, but you do get the blaster. I love the shading on this, although I'll never really display it with the figure. You do have it as an extra. I think it's pretty cool, and I have to say it's unusually detailed for something that you probably won't even display with the turtle, but overall you do have it. Now the grapple hook is something that comes standard with all the turtles. Some of the accessories may vary, but this one comes standard with every one of them, so you are going to have 4 sets of the grapple hook. It's very detailed. I do love that kind of silver finish that it has on it, and it's actual fabric that is used to simulate the actual rope. So I thought that was a pretty nice detail. And finally, rounding out the last bit of accessories is 3 additional hands for various poses. Now the interesting thing about this is that the 2 of them have those little claws in the hands that look very aggressive. They're pretty cool. And then you have another standard fist hand. Now what I thought that was pretty weird, and something that I don't remember seeing in the rest of the turtles, is that they give you an extra head sculpt that doesn't have a mask. I don't remember if the rest of the turtles had an unmasked version. I know they had an extra head sculpt, but not unmasked. So this is again something very unusual and unique to this figure. To reiterate, guys, Mondo has done a great job with their turtle line. This is an excellent piece, and put all together, when you have all the 4 turtles, you're gonna look amazing, guys. Now before I go, I just gotta send a special shout out to Mondo and Big Bad Toy Store, mostly for being very patient this time, and sending this wonderful piece over for review. And if you're interested in this and other collectibles, please visit www.bigbadtoystore.com. Alright everybody, so that's my official review on Mondo's 1/6 scale version of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Raphael figure. As always, I thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next AGR's Pop Culture Reviews.